So we're up.
All right. Good to see everybody. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
3, 2, and 1.
Hey, folks. Welcome back to your Frederick Real Estate Update. I'm Darren Ahern with RE/MAX Results. And also, we have a big announcement to make today. First time ever. And also have with me the man, the myth, the legend, one of the best loan officers I've ever known in my whole life from Presidential Bank Mortgage.
Terry Kernan.
Yes, sir.
How we doing?
We're doing great. Welcome to May.
Can't believe we're here.
April showers bring May what?
Flowers.
We got the flowers. It's blooming. Hope everybody's doing well. We're going to jump right into it now. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. WFMD.com in the drop down, you will get the last 459 programs for your real estate update with Terry and I and others. We want to thank you guys for tuning in, and all of you guys drop a comment and question, care, thought, concern about real estate and mortgages. So this is your weekly dose. We're going to jump right on into it, Terry, with numbers, because we haven't done this in a little while. So active homes, 558 houses are for sale in Frederick County. And last year we were at 494 on this very day, 494 homes. So we're up, let's see here. We are up 64 houses since last year. So inventory at one point.
It sounds close, but it's about 10%.
Yeah, it's only 10. Yeah, we were at about 20 to 22% higher with inventory. And now it's not there. We're only up about 10% or so, right, over last year's number. So coming soon, 94. Last year we had 93. That's a horse race, boys and girls.
That is.
That's it. But that's
Speaking of a horse race.
Yeah.
The Derby.
There you go. Big Derby time. Hope you guys got your money on the winning horse. All resale homes, 454, 28 median days, average days on market. This has been surprising for me over the last month, Terry. 53 days. I thought for sure. Now, that's the whole market. That is every price point. We're talking, that is all 454 homes that are their resales, not brand new builds. There's 104 of those. But in the 454 homes that are for sale, resale, the average time is 53 days. I thought for sure that would be at like 45 or 40 by now. But it's not. Median price, 524 and 524,900. The average is 594 is the average resale price. And single family homes, 258 of those, 51 average days on market for them as well. Median price was 663 and the average is 714.
Okay.
Yeah, so resales of the townhouse and condos, 196 of them, 55 days. That's crazy. Those typically have been selling faster, but in the last month or 3 weeks, they have not. And prices have been very flat, 415 median and 437 average, 104 brand new builds, 75 single family homes for sale that are brand new. Median price, 775. The average is 861. We were around 850. 855-ish. It's all up just a tiny bit. Townhouses, 29 of those, 496 median price, 552 average, and that was around 540. So obviously we're seeing about a 2 to 3% increase in values as a whole year over year. Under contracts, there's the big one. Here we go. 610 broke the 600 barrier.
Wow.
So what that shows is there's a lot of homes that came out in the coming soons, got on the market. About 20%, 22%, Terry, of all homes are selling within the first 10 days, which is the smart sellers, and they're getting multiple offers. So the sellers, and I have one now that's a little challenging at time. It's like we had all this activity and everything. But I knew we were a little overpriced and said, hey, I wouldn't mess around. You get that number down just a tiny bit, you're probably there. And that's what's been happening. We've seen 42% of all sellers make a price adjustment, even now still, to get an offer. So it's more critical now than almost ever. I've seen, Terry, that if you miss the market, the activity, by $10, you've missed it really by a long shot. It's not just a little bit. And it takes a lot more adjusting downward to get an offer than to just really be where you should be and not say, can't we just get $10 more? That's going to hurt you by $100, if you will, right? And that's what we're seeing. That's really what we're seeing. And that dynamic, I don't think I've ever seen it quite like this in my whole career, where buyers are that super sensitive to every little thing, not just condition, as we've talked about before on the last programs, but price is even more hyper. And somebody says, hey, Darren, if interest rates are coming down, who cares about price and affordability? They're coming down. It's better. So buyers should be more excited. No, they're not. They're hardly excited about these prices still. And as a whole, we are still seeing prices now go back up a tiny bit. So yeah, if interest rates come down a little bit, but prices go up 3%, they're still in a position that they don't want to be as a buyer typically.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, under contract. So resales 443, 31 average days, 520 median price, 549 average. 167 brand new builds are under contract at an 832 price, 90 townhouses at 504. That's completely flat. Remember, we've been around 495, 505.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're at 504. So the under contract numbers of the condo townhouse markets, that's kind of peaked out. I mean, that's really peaked out. But what we're finding is getting the most values right now are new builds, number one, because they're not lowering the price. What they're doing is they're giving away more incentives than ever. And then they're raising the base price. And then they're like, okay, well, now instead of $30,000, we'll raise the base price 10 and we'll give you $40,000 in incentives. It's a wash. It's just a shell game to them people. And they are not going to lower the base prices. In our area, it's not happening. Now, around the country, I have heard of it. So if you're listening to national real estate news and you're hearing brand new builds, there's too many of them in certain neighborhoods, and the builders are having to lower their base prices by $50,000 to get buyers to buy. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, go to Austin, Texas. Yeah, go to Dallas. Go to certain parts of this country, and that is actually factual. But right here in Frederick, no, not at all. It's holding steady or going up. So that's the under contracts T. And then solds last 30 days, 320. 301 were resales, 34 average days, 500 median price, 520 say average. And there again, that's been pretty flat, very, very little up. Single family homes, 184 of those, 35 days, 602 average price sold. Isn't that crazy to think we've passed it? Now we're above for all types of homes. In resales, we're above 600,000 now as an average. Solds. So that's some would say, yeah, but that's up a tiny bit because it's spring market. Yes and no. So no, the overall trend is since January, since the beginning of the year, we are up over 3%, a little bit over 3% as a whole. So there it is. We peaked out now over 602. And then townhouses, 117 of those at 32 days and an average price of 410. Same thing. That's been very flat overall. Now, this is where it's wild, Terry. Last 30 days, 19 brand new homes have sold, a little bit below the average. 9 of them are single family homes at an average price of $976. A little bit of skewed data because it is only 9 homes. 10 townhouses at $630,000. That'll take your breath away. What do you think?
That's something. That's
Yep.
Spending $630,000 on a townhouse, brand new.
Yep.
That's huge. But that number of 19 homes, generally we're at 30 to 33, 34. So that 19
Half.
is a big number down.
It is.
And it's not like we're in January or February.
Right.
We're actually, this is April. So that's a little worrisome.
Right, because this is a massive delay because you got to remember, as you know, they take 6 to 7 months to build.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say 7 months is the average. That means these are the buyers, these new builds that are settling right now were the buyers that were purchasing these new homes back in October.
Mm-hmm.
These were the October purchases. So what was the interest rate in October? What was the buyer sentiment and confidence in October? What did life look like back in October? Not quite like now.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a little bit of a different dynamic. So here's what's really going to be interesting. Now the rates have come down in the last 7 months. What, Terry? Probably 0.5%. That's a big deal when you're talking about a $700,000 mortgage. I mean, you're talking about that's a big 0.5%. A big deal. Then go ahead and talk about it.
As long as it's moving in the right direction.
Yeah, and so
confidence is all about.
Yep.
Moving in the right direction.
And that's what we're going to see now with the buyers buying these brand new builds today, which is now this April, May. I have 2 of them going. They're going to settle in November. So when we get to November and talk about brand new home sales and what's going on with that, it's all because of what's happening right now. And that number I know is up. So that number should at least double, if not more, maybe even more, in my opinion, since there's still a lack of resale homes for sale. I just had a call today, past client of mine, love them to death. They have their cousins who have been frustrated and they're looking at resales and everything and they're not finding something they really want. And they're now looking in West Virginia, they're like going further out. And she told me what they want. And I was thinking and she's like, man, they're just having a really hard time there. And do you think you can help them? And I said, well, just curiosity, what price point are we talking? She's like, about 700,000. What? Okay. I thought we're talking 400 or 500,000. When she told me 700, I'm like, well, that shouldn't be a real big problem. Now, can I get them a brand new build with a 4-bedroom, 3-bath with a backyard and all that for 700? No, you're not going to get that in Frederick. So now, but in West Virginia, oh yeah, I guarantee in Martinsburg or Falling Waters or over in that area, I guarantee you can buy a lot of house in West Virginia for $700,000, boys and girls. Now, here's the thing we talked about. She said their biggest thing is, man, it might add 30 minutes to their commute to work. Yeah. You got to wait.
Or more.
Yeah, or more. So now they're going to have to weigh out, do I want the grandiose, beautiful, everything check my box house for $700,000, but for the next years and years and years and years of my life, I'm going to be spending, 350 hours or 300 hours a year longer on the road traveling. That's the trade-off. See, people, you think about it per day, like it's going to take 30 minutes extra a day, or let's say an hour commute more a day. Well, if you work 280 days a year, that's 280 hours you are not with your family. You're not in your house. You're not working on your house. You're not doing something of a hobby or fun or shopping or anything. You're literally in your flipping car waiting to get to where you want to go. That's when it becomes reality. Like, how worth that is that to you? And are you willing to change jobs? And because of the commute, who knows? So all these factors, go ahead.
Yeah. So just to hit on that, if you're looking to buy farther out and it's going to change the dynamics of your commute, my recommendation is drive it, not one day.
Oh, a whole flipping week.
Drive it for a week.
Yeah.
Okay. If you drive it one day, everybody can handle an extra for one day.
Yeah.
But figure out, make that drive, get to the house, because getting to the house that's farther out is not a problem. You're talking to a guy here that's been the reverse commute for 40 years now. Okay. What has changed in 40 years? Not a whole lot. Okay?
Right. Yeah.
Not a whole lot. I could leave at 5 a.m. or 7 a.m. or 9 a.m. And the only difference is it's bumper to bumper at 5:30 in the morning, but everybody's going 70 miles an hour.
There you go.
So 270 has not changed. 270 has not gotten wider in the last 40 years.
Right.
Okay. So you've got to take that into consideration. That's something that a lot of people, once they get into it, and once they do it, and they're like, wow, this is really painful, come up with something to do, books on tape,
yep,
whatever the case, listen to podcasts.
Listen to our show.
Listen to our show over and over and over. But that's something that's a huge consideration because I've been doing the reverse commute. It takes me 35 minutes door to door. So it's not that bad of a deal, if there's traffic or whatever. But, I've done it over probably 12 to 14,000 rides up and down the road. Think about that.
So that's a good thought for all the buyers out there considering. All right, T, I'm going to give into our big promo coming up here. $100 Sheets gift card. Tell us what day do you think interest rates are going to be back down to 6.25% for a conventional 30-year mortgage? And that data is only going to come from one source, and that's an app I've been telling you forever to download if you don't have it, Mortgage News Daily. Make sure you download that app. It's amazing. Today, Terry, where is the interest rate at?
6.38%.
All right. 6.38. We're staying
So
pretty
last week
steady.
was at 6.32. The week before is at 6.32. So we have seen the rates go up, and a lot of that, I can talk about, but it's a lot of war related.
Yeah. So whoever tells us the day, you got to give me a date that it's going to be at 6.25. I already have people that have given me dates, and the person, when it hits that number on that date, whoever's closest or on the date is going to get $100 Sheets gift card from us. So, all right, let's get into it. Lots to talk about. It is wild. Before we do the mortgage update thing, Terry, real quick, the big news of the week, and this is huge. RE/MAX, we got bought. We got bought. It was on the front 2 days ago or actually 4 days ago now. It was on the front of the Wall Street Journal. It was on the news. It was on social media. It was everywhere in the real estate world. RE/MAX, we are the largest real estate brokerage since 1977. Dale Lineger began RE/MAX, I believe, in the 70s. I've been there 12 years. I've loved it. We've been flying around in a balloon all over the world. We have the most real estate agents of any brokerage in the whole world, 145,000 of us strong. And the news broke. Now, you've heard of Compass and Zillow and buying this company and that company, and they're buying this and that and all this other movement. None of us really saw this coming. We didn't see this coming as a whole, but it's been in the talks well over probably almost a year now from what we're hearing now. We don't have all the details, but here's the thing. People are saying to me now, Darren, does that mean RE/MAX is no longer going to exist? No, they're going to still, it's kind of like Honda owns Lexus, and Lexus is the luxury line of Toyota or whatever, and all those things. Anytime there's mergers and acquisitions, it doesn't mean a company's name and the way they do business is going to change immediately to that new style. That's not what typically happens, especially in today's world. What they typically do is just say, yeah, we just bought you out. You can keep doing what you're doing. You're real successful. You're profitable. And that's pretty much all we care about until we want you to integrate certain things either direction within the business model that we're looking as far as the changes of technology in the world and long-term growth, especially when you have shareholders involved. Terry, overnight, RE/MAX stock went up 15%, 20% in one day, which has not happened in forever. And in the last 5 days now, or 4 days, the stock has gone up 40%. Let me put that into terms. If you had 100,000...
They made the announcement yesterday.
Yeah, 2 days ago, they made the announcement. Yeah.
So how did the stock go up
overnight?
40%.
Yeah.
Over the last 5 days when the announcement wasn't made till yesterday.
It was already going up a little bit. So there was, I don't know.
There's
somebody knew something.
I'm not
maybe.
I'm
there's
not
always
saying,
somebody knows
I'm
something.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just wondering.
I do know this. Sandy, our broker, who's awesome. All the brokers and owners of what we call, instead of RE/MAX International, that's owned by Denver, Colorado RE/MAX headquarters, we're franchised. They're franchised. Sandy had no idea until we all knew at the same time when it broke the airwaves in the morning. And once that broke, everyone knew. But from that point on, the stock has gone up even higher, much higher, but it was already on the rise a little bit. When you look back, it was already on the rise a little bit. So that's pretty phenomenal to see that happening pretty quickly. So that's how it works. A lot of consumers are going to ask, what's going to change for you, Darren? What's going to change for all of you RE/MAX agents and all that? Here's the thing. They're going to say, are you leaving RE/MAX? You're going to stay? Man, we're excited. The company that purchased us is called Real Realty. All right, REAL, and their symbols are backwards. The R is like weird, and the L is the other side. It's really interesting. This is a very probably one of the highest tech companies in real estate. They have the most cutting edge tools and technology and AI things coming and all that I've learned about. They're not local really here in Maryland much at all. There's only about 20,000 of their agents and about 145,000 of ours. Now we have 165,000. Here's what's going to happen. RE/MAX is going to get the benefit of all of the technology from this company, which is proprietary, which means the Zillows of the world and the Redfins and this company and that company, everybody's going to be like, oh my gosh, we've got a bigger player to deal with now. Because RE/MAX, in all honesty, we were sort of lagging and falling behind a little bit. We've had some good programs, the Bold Trail, the AdWorks campaign. We've had really good tools for our consumers, for buyers and sellers. But it's almost like, you gain 2 steps and then you go back 1 because of the competitor had 3 steps on you. So we were starting to realize we're a more traditional brokerage, and we're going to be a little more antiquated if we continue to do the same advancements we're making while they're making double advancements. And we were throwing a lot of money at it and spent a lot of time and had a lot of other companies that were integrating and helping us. But this is absolutely a game changer for RE/MAX to have Real Realty and their stuff coming into ours and merging together. So now in a year or 2, we'll still operate as RE/MAX, but in a year or 2, or is it going to change? Are we now going to be known as Real Realty or whatever? Who knows? But I could care less. All I know is we're going to have the best techie tools for our consumers. That is amazing. That is what we've been longing for and wanting in this industry for a while now.
It sounds like David bought Goliath, huh?
I don't know. Maybe David bought Goliath. Could be. Could be. So there you go. That's a great way to put it.
Congratulations.
I'm going to get a new shirt. David bought Goliath. There you go. So, all right, T, what's happening in the mortgage world?
Lots and lots. And it's coming down to what's going on with the Federal Reserve, okay? And let's talk a little bit about it. And we've talked about it on the show 100 times. And I've always said, that Dr. Day told me in 1983 at Frostburg, he said, the most powerful man in the world is the chairman of the Federal Reserve. And we can go over what's going on. Kevin Warsh, W-A-R-S-H, has been nominated by President Trump to take over for Jerome Powell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Jerome Powell has served 2 terms, and he's been in since 2018. And it's been a very highly profile disagreement between Chairman Powell and President Trump and the administration. And so Powell is out. This week is going to be his last meeting. And so he's going to be replaced, but Warsh is who is going to go before the Senate. Now, what they've done is, if you think about this, is lost my train of thought here. Basically, what we're taking a look at is, in order to be brought before the Senate for confirmation, he had to go through the committee, the Finance Committee.
Right.
Finance Committee is basically 24 members, 13 Republicans, 11 Democrats. First time in the history of nominating Fed chairs, which goes back to 1969. First time in history, they basically split on the party evenly. There was no crossovers. There was no bipartisan support. And so that is kind of a little concerning on where everybody is. It's typical for what's going on today is I don't care what you think about. I'm just sticking with what my party believes. I don't care what's right. It just goes on to show you that 13 to 11, that's never, ever happened before. And let's talk a little bit about what's going to happen is we've got a 53-seat advantage on the Republican side. So they're predicting that when he's presented to the committee for confirmation, that it's going to be pretty much a party split, since it was such a party split on the committees, to advance him to the nomination. Let's talk a little bit about Jerome Powell. 2022, when he was nominated, 80 yeas, 19 nays, 1 abstained. Okay, so 80% of the vote. 2018, Powell got 84% of the vote. Janet Yellen, 56 votes, 26 nays, and 18 abstained. Okay. So this is going to be closer to what Janet Yellen dealt with in 2014. This is going to be a lot tighter, and my guess it's going to be probably the 53 to 47 vote. But Ben Bernanke, 70-30 in 2006, he got unanimous consent, 100-0. So most of the time, everybody agrees on who the nominee is going to be.
Yep.
And who is Kevin Warsh? Kevin Warsh is what I like is that he has experience as a Federal Home Loan Bank Board of Governors. Okay, so in 2006, he came on board with the governors, and he left in 2011. He was Ben Bernanke's lieutenant during the whole financial crisis. So he has experience.
Yeah.
And he has experience at the worst that we've ever seen it. So the biggest fear here is that when he gets in, that they're going to drop rates. And that's not going to be something that everybody's going to be for, because they feel that it'll be that you shouldn't be dropping rates right now because of the inflation is still there and it's not under control. So the nomination is going to be right around May 11th. It's going to be very, very contentious, is my guess. And it'll be very interesting to see where it goes. But the fact that Warsh has been on the governors and has been through the worst of the worst, then I think that I don't see anything going on here, but we'll see.
Yeah, this ought to be interesting.
It's good that he's got the experience.
Yeah,
and he's a smart guy. He's Stanford educated, Harvard Law. He's a lawyer that's a financier. He's got the education. He's got the smart. So we'll see.
Yeah, this ought to be interesting to see how it plays out, how it affects mortgage rates and everything, the whole 9 yards. And so, that is good to know that we have somebody coming in, it sounds like, that has the experience and know-how, has been through a lot. So we'll see what happens. I just still go back to, Terry, as we finish up today. If rates are going to stay in the sixes, which it sounds like they're going to for the most part, we're not going to get in the fives anytime soon. I'm more concerned about values of homes going up. That's my concern. Even at an average pace. But as long as, and that just shows supply and demand. It just shows that the jobs must be there. The money must be there. People may be cashing out of their home, their investments and things to have the money. I'm amazed how many young people have a pretty good chunk of change to put down on homes today. It is really amazing. And I'm helping 2 new buyers now, and they're putting down 20%. So somebody's giving them something, or they've earned it. I love it. All right, guys, take care. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend. Happy buying and selling from your Frederick Real Estate Update, and we will see our information's on the end. Take care now.